You spent more on that dog bed than you have on any single pillow in your entire house. The moment you set it on the floor, your dog climbs on and starts tearing it apart. You say stop. They pause for 3 seconds, then dig harder, faster, and more determined than before. Most owners call this destruction. Veterinary behaviorists call it something that goes back 15,000 years. And the moment you understand what they are really doing, you will never scold them for it again. By the end of this, you will never look at that scratching the same way again. Stay until the end, because the last section covers the one thing your vet actually needs to know. Your dog is not being destructive. They are executing a 3-part survival ritual built into their genes. We are going to start with the fascinating reasons and end with the one that matters most for their health. Picture a wild ancestor of your dog on a scorching afternoon, surrounded by sun-baked earth and no shade. In the dead of winter, that same ancestor digs a deep bowl in frozen ground to block the killing wind. Your dog is performing that exact same motion right now on a memory foam mattress worth $100. Most people assume their dog is simply trying to get more comfortable before lying down. That explanation is incomplete, because the real command comes from a part of your dog's brain that predates domestication. On a hot day, wild canids dig aggressively through the sun-baked top layer to expose the cool, damp earth beneath. In cold weather, digging a deep bowl traps their own body heat and blocks the wind from every direction. Stanley Coren at the University of British Columbia documented that the pre-sleep digging sequence is genetically preserved across all breeds. Your dog is not touching a mattress. Their nervous system is responding to ground that no longer exists. The single most effective thing you can do is let the ritual complete before your dog tries to lie down. Keep watching, because what happens between your dog's paw pads while they scratch is something you have been misreading entirely. Watch your dog scratch their bed one more time, but this time, let your attention drift down to their paws. Most owners assume the paws are just the tools doing the work, with nothing more happening beneath them. That assumption misses something that veterinary anatomy considers one of the most important parts of canine communication. Hidden between the pads of your dog's paws are clusters of apocrine glands loaded with their unique chemical identity. Every time your dog drags their paws across that fabric, they are pressing their chemical signature deep into the material. Alexandra Horowitz at Barnard College, published in Behavioral Processes, found that dogs actively track and recognize their own chemical signature. It is the canine equivalent of writing their name across every single fiber of the bed they sleep on. Your dog has approximately 300 million olfactory receptors and an olfactory brain region proportionally 40 times larger than yours. Gregory Burns at Emory found that familiar scent activates the caudate nucleus, your dog's brain region for safety and reward. A brand new bed carries no chemical identity yet. The difference between a dog who settles instantly and a dog who cannot stop scratching will become very clear by the next section. Before we get to the third purpose, if this is already changing how you see your dog, subscribe now so you never miss what comes next. The third reason behind the scratching is the one most owners never consider, and it is older than anything else we have covered. Watch your dog circle the bed before lying down, because that circling and the scratching are part of the same ancient sequence. Most owners assume circling is a quirk, a habit, or a mild form of anxiety with no real explanation behind it. That assumption erases tens of thousands of years of survival engineering that your dog is still running in your living room. Before a wild canid could safely sleep in tall grass, they had to physically transform the landscape around them first. Circling and trampling flattened the vegetation, which exposed hidden snakes, insects, and anything else that could cause harm during sleep. Research on pre-sleep circling in canids identifies this as a deeply conserved predator safety protocol, not a nervous habit. The scratching that follows the circling serves a second mechanical function, which is leveling the surface to protect the spine during sleep. Your dog is not feeling the mattress beneath their paws. They are scanning for terrain irregularities that could damage them overnight. A growing body of behavioral evidence suggests that surface preparation before sleep is conserved across dozens of carnivore species worldwide. Some research even suggests that circling direction may relate to magnetic field orientation, though this remains an open and genuinely fascinating question. When you interrupt your dog mid-ritual before the sequence is complete, research indicates it creates measurable, unnecessary distress in their nervous system. Stay with me because the next section is where most dog owners make the single biggest mistake they do not know they are making. There is one version of this scratching behavior that looks identical on the outside, but means something completely different on the inside. Normal pre-sleep scratching completes within roughly 30 to 90 seconds, after which your dog settles and stays down without difficulty. The red flag is this: 10 or more minutes of digging, followed by lying down, standing back up, and digging again immediately. If your dog is whining softly while they dig and cannot find a position that holds, do not assume this is stubbornness. Veterinary behaviorists have documented obsessive pre-sleep repositioning as one of the primary behavioral signals of chronic musculoskeletal pain. Veterinarians who work with orthopedic cases note that dogs experiencing joint pain redirect their discomfort into repeated, urgent nesting attempts. They are not trying to destroy the bed. They are engineering a specific shape designed to relieve pressure at the exact point of pain. In clinical behavioral practice, when the cycle extends well past several minutes with vocalization, clinicians treat this as a flag for underlying physical discomfort. The breeds most commonly affected include larger dogs, senior dogs, and any dog that has recently changed weight or activity level significantly. When you go to your vet, tell them that your dog cannot complete their pre-sleep ritual and describe the whining and repositioning pattern precisely. This dog is not difficult. This dog is not broken. This dog is trying to ask you for help in the only language they have. Think back to every section we have covered in this video and everything your dog has shown you inside that scratching. The digging that reached through a plush mattress all the way to the cool earth of a summer that ended 10,000 years ago. The chemical name they pressed into every fiber of that bed until it finally smelled like safety, like home, like theirs. Every circle they walked before lying down, checking the perimeter one more time to make sure you were still safe while they slept. And the night the ritual would not end, when they could not settle, when they were asking you to notice something that hurt. It was never destruction. It was architecture, built for a world that ended 15,000 years ago and rebuilt every single night because you are still there when they wake up. If this changed how you see your dog, go find them right now, because they have been trying to tell you this for years. Subscribe to The Dog Nerd, where every week we go deeper into the science of the bond your dog has already decided to have with you. Drop a comment telling me what your dog does tonight before they settle, because we read every single one.